Good afternoon, Anu. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Miss Sadaf. I'm really good and so good to see you here.
Likewise, likewise. Um, Tell us about yourself. What have you been doing for some time? What are your recent activities? So, we can know you better.
Sadaf, I'm into education sector from last 2 decades,
Okay, wonderful.
and having worked with a lot of curriculums, CBSE. CBSE is the national curriculum for India,
Yes.
and CIE, that's Cambridge curriculum,
Mm.
IB as well. All
Good.
of them are really good. IB is something that's been close to my heart. And
Mm.
there are a few philosophies I really believe in, and we've been practicing them at the school and on the places that we have been working. It's the Reggio Emilia and the Montessori approach. They
Mm.
are really good. And
Mm.
other than it, I had been taking in now I don't take actually. Previously, I used to take creative writing and content writing classes, workshops as well. But
Okay.
from past few years, I've not been getting time to pursue that. So I'm a recognized and trained TESOL teacher, but sadly I don't get time to practice that. So
Mm-hmm.
been long I've taken a workshop on that. Currently, I'm mostly into teacher training, curriculum development, corporate trainings for children and for adults. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what I've been doing so far. Otherwise, I'm an avid reader. You can see my background. You'll always find a lot of books everywhere.
No
Uh,
wonder. No wonder I thought you're in the office. So it was actually the background.
this is actually this room is our office at home though. So one
Oh,
room, the study is set up like an office.
okay. Okay.
I know that's how it looks like, but yes. So
That's right.
if I'll turn the phone and to a other side of the wall, it's entirely different. That
Oh,
side has been done, so it's got a lot of books and study material. So if we turn this side, my children have hanged their paintings and their drawings. So
oh,
that's an
wow.
entire different world.
Good. Good to see that you can just turn your chair and go into two separate different worlds. That's amazing. So I've been recently reading some of your articles on LinkedIn, and I feel quite hooked up with them as well because I feel that my narrative regarding teacher training and the challenges that we are facing, not only in Pakistan, but I see the similar situation happening in India. And I recently had a talk with Khushbu. She also highlighted some very similar issues, and I could emotionally connect with her because see, she was also in the same shoes as I am. And when I read international literature, when I look at different curriculums, I see that globally there is a downfall in the teaching profession, and there is a lot of stress between the teachers who are working as a teacher, and there is a lot of shortage of teachers as well. It's a global issue, and with this emerging AI and all this fear, this is becoming, it's scaring us now that it might take over this field, this education field. What is your take about it, and do you feel the same way I feel about this?
Right. So, Sadaf, I'll begin from this teacher training. I don't know about much about the education space in Pakistan, but in India, it's been a problem ever since, you know, ever since I'm into teaching at least. So probably it existed before that as well.
Mm,
So majority of the schools are government run in
mm,
two-tier cities and in suburbs, in villages,
mm,
and in fact in cities as well. And you will find the quality teaching lacking over there,
mm,
despite government paying really well to the government staff,
mm,
that they are paid very well,
mm,
right? But on the other hand, if you talk about the private sector, right, there's always a dearth of finances when it comes to paying to the teachers. So that is one reason the next generation, our current generation, we also call them Gen Z,
mm,
they are not much interested in coming into teaching because they say that this
mm,
doesn't pay. Why should we come into it, right?
Mm,
So nobility from the profession has gone. It isn't their fault either.
mm,
The government bodies, the private sector should
mm,
learn to realize the importance of this profession, because this is one profession that creates all other professions.
mm,
So huge divide. I mean, it is not even a small difference, it's a humongous difference that's in between the salaries of somebody who's starting in a corporate and the one who's a seasoned teacher. They still
mm,
would be getting paid very less. So that is
mm.
one reason. Other is good teacher training. That's really important. So the university courses that equip you to be a teacher, that gives you an entry into the education sector, they're very outdated,
Mm.
right? They are not practical. And a lot of people, been doing, it is called BEd here, Bachelor of Education.
Same.
So not all the places, a lot of places I'm sure have been doing really good, but most places, they don't produce good teachers because they lack in quality content, right? It's good to learn about philosophies, but teaching is something that you learn
Mm,
on job, right? It's an experiential profession. So you need to experience it, you need to learn it inside the classroom. So some structure has to be changed. And other than all that entry level qualifications, what all schools and organizations need to do is to keep investing in professional development of the teachers as well,
mm,
right? And it shouldn't be, again, I've always been saying that it shouldn't be a one shoe fits all policy,
mm.
right? It
Absolutely.
should be, yes, it should be in conjunction with the people whom you feel need training. See,
Mm,
I'm good in a particular subject. This might be my strength, but there might be something that
mm,
I'm really good at, right? So you should be working on both, not just not just the skill set that you are lacking, but the
mm,
skill that you have, so that you develop it and be able to
mm,
contribute better,
mm.
right?
Yes,
So
absolutely. With Connect today, just a few hours before we started this conversation, one of the teachers called me, and she was just, uh, you know, um, doing her catharsis with me that I am new to the field and my heads are, there's a lot of favoritism in the school, and they just want me to pass the children who have failed. They have done nothing in the exam, but they say, no, no, we cannot fail any child. You have to promote the child, you have to give him at least passing scores. She says she was questioning me that if the child has written rubbish on the paper or has repeatedly written one sentence or on the whole paper for grade 3 probably, how can I give them passing marks? And I told her that, sweetheart, these are the actual challenges that we've been talking about that you will face in the field, and we have all been through this. We know that to keep up with these challenges, there is a lot of emotional support required. And then we need to make sure that, if the people like me who are expert in this field or who has the idea that these are the challenges, we want you to understand that these are the kinds of training you need. Because what I see here, you have discussed the similar issues that we also face here: the shortage of teachers, the private and public school gap, the salaries, the behaviors. Everything seems like you are saying the same issues that we have here. And I've recently also been through the National Curriculum of India because I'm an educationist myself. So I study different curriculums, and I try to take out the best in everything and try to incorporate in my trainings. I also felt, and recently on the social media, I saw a lot of activities which were quite similar, like teachers sleeping in the classroom, or cutting vegetables in the classroom in the public schools. Very many, very similar situations here in Pakistan as well. Although the government has taken a lot of actions, but still there is a lot to be done here. My point is that when I reach to these teachers, when I reach out to them and I ask them that, you need training, you need to improve yourself, you need to learn how to, play around with these, these theories are excellent resource, these philosophies are excellent resource, but they need to, they need to absorb them so that they can bring it out in their practical experiences in life, in the
right.
classroom. Just rightly you mentioned that theories are good, But I have the same point that you need to understand the depth of the state, the theory, and then you have to implement it and adjust it like a tailor, to make it fit to your situation. Now, when these things are happening in the classroom, there are a lot of challenges the teachers are facing. The biggest one is that the emotional, the setback they get when they walk into a classroom. So, what is the situation on your side about the social emotional teachers training, or is there any content in your teacher training manual or modules to teach teachers how to manage their own emotions? Because I think that is a bigger challenge what I see globally.
I think what I feel is in recent times, in past few years, the urge to integrate socio-emotional learning has gone up. That's a really good sign in
Mm,
children and teachers as well. So you'll often see the workshops happening, the PT sessions happening.
mm,
There are a lot of meditation, mindfulness exercises that have been taken up by the schools and the society. And as a society, also, you will find
mm,
you know, uh, a lot of people been following these important issues which were sidelined in the past,
mm,
right? So when I talk to the teachers, obviously they are very burdened. So they have a lot of admin duties. They have to take part in admissions. They have to
mm,
write lesson plans. They grade, and they have to teach. They have to deal with the parents. They have to deal with the management. They have to do a lot of things. So
mm,
they are the ones who need this emotional support
mm,
and empathetic behavior the most.
mm,
So it has been changing. If you see national education policy that was introduced that's been introduced twice in the
mm.
last decade. So
Yes.
it covers all these things. It talks about all these things. There's a technique called Panchkosha technique. If you look at it, they have
Mm,
taken it from our old scriptures and given it a new uniform kind of a thing, given it some practical form so that you can implement it in your classes. So everything is there,
mm,
right? The trainings have been happening. The documents ask you to cover all this. They might train you on this, but in the
mm,
end, the problem is where is the time? And unless the teachers they are
mm,
themselves emotionally stable, they
mm,
don't transcend those into the children, right?
mm.
It is the need of the time. I'm hoping from our end, all educationists here as well, and I'm sure worldwide they have been trying to integrate uh, EQ into their mainstream teaching because it is important. But
Mm.
the amount of work that needs to be done in this field, it's still very less, really less.
Don't you
You know,
think
I
that they need to balance the curriculum with, because if we are going to add this is just the thought that just popped in my head, that if we are going to include emotional intelligence and emotional understanding as a curriculum content, then the content in the curriculum for various subjects need to shorten a bit so that there can be a balance, because the content is available on the internet and we have AI, we have got chat GPT. Children can learn so many things from their own, and most of them do. So if we are balancing that human aspect as emotions, then I think the content, we can compromise on that, all that copywriting or those lecture-based activities in the classroom, that although we say that our classes are now student-centered, but still there is a lot of emphasis on curriculum content, which is text. They have to read, they have to memorize, they have to write it. Spending so much time, focusing like a horse on your copy and your pencil, and not being able to connect with the people around you. And already with this digital divide that we have within the family, you can see the whole entire family sitting on their smartphones and not talking to each other. I think the content should, we can, put it a little, give it a little lower level and, push emotional curriculum in the content. What do you suggest about that? Should it be done in the schools?
What I feel is unless children are learning to be social, understanding their emotions, are mentally aware, they are creative, they get enough opportunities to explore. Other things, they come later. You do it or you might not do it, especially in context of early years. I'll give you one example here. So, in the month of June, I went to Japan. We went to quite a few schools and they've been doing really well. And what we saw was at a lot of places till age of 5, children do not write anything. In the schools, they don't write anything. They learn to eat, they learn etiquettes, they learn manners, they learn social intelligence, they learn to play, they learn life skills and whatnot. And they are doing concepts. It isn't that they are doing concepts. They have been doing the concepts. They were playing with clay. So if they were made the letters with clay, it is not mandatory for child to sit and write that. Because their philosophy is they need to learn life skills and all other skills they come. And as an adult, since we know that what's been happening in the world, it is nobody can deny the fact that they are one of the most intelligent, hardworking people in the world. They are so civilized, you won't believe. To throw the trash, you'll feel like you are passing an exam. Every day there is a different set of trash that you can throw in the bins, which the public civics people, those who come to pick, the collectors, they take. It is different every day, so that it is segregated according to today it's recycling, today it's compost, today is this. So organized in whatever they do, you won't believe. And yes, another thing, they all clean by themselves when they come to the school. Principal till the smallest of the child, they clean their own space. So they learn life skills, they learn emotional intelligence, they learn social skills, they learn to be independent first. If they feel if a child is not able to use the washroom on their own, it is no use a child writing. Let them not write. Let them learn to be independent first. This is more important.
Here in Pakistan, the mothers are mostly, making their own sons. I will not go for the daughters, but because bringing up a daughter is a totally different scenario here in Pakistan. But for the boys, oh, मेरा बेटा, oh, मैं कर देती हूँ, oh, मैं खिला देती हूँ, oh, मैं पिला देती हूँ, oh, मैं लेसिस बंद कर देती हूँ, लाओ मैं लंच पर रख देती हूँ, लाओ मैं ये कर देती हूँ. And I think this has made our kids sort of a handicap. And even when they come to school, only the teacher in the playground, of course, that is a part of the curriculum that the children should open up their bags and their lunch boxes and then close it. But most of the times, children are even unable to unzip their bags, especially in early years. Even up till grade 1, I see this problem. And what I feel is that you have rightly mentioned that when we are not teaching them life skills and we are just handing them, pencils and pens and crayons and making them focus, I feel that we are making them handicapped to some extent, because when they have their hands, but they cannot, tie up their laces, or they don't know how to, put their things back in the cupboard or fold their clothes, and these basic things that everybody needs at home, as a support, because everything is not the mom's job. It is not the mom's job to, wash your laundry and then fold it and iron it and hang it for you. There is a certain part that she can do it for you or get it done for you from the servants or the maids, but there should be something which should be left over the children. I also see activities, and when I wrote my textbooks and when I was writing about independent and responsibility activities, I gave them an activity, to make a cutting cardboard and learn how to fold their t-shirts. We also see such activities on the internet, mostly coming from the Japanese and Chinese children. So these are the activities they teach their children, where like a 2-year-old can eat his or her own food. A 2-year-old can communicate, go to the washroom, take out the toothpaste, put on the paste. But here, even the 6-year-old, the mother is doing, "Oh, mere beta, main kar do." मेरी बेटी मैं कर दूं, मैं तेरे बाल बना दूं. They are keeping them so much dependent on themselves that the children, they start losing that confidence that I can do it. And once they walk into a school or they go to the college and university, everybody says, तुम तो बड़े हो गए, तुम्हें तो खुद करना चाहिए, तुम्हें तो खुद आना चाहिए. And once they step into the practical life, I mean, in a job place or go for internship, they fall into that emotional trauma कि मैं तो यहाँ पे misfit हूँ, मुझे तो कुछ करना ही नहीं आता. We also had to make these for our bosses, go and get photocopies, from the paper. The first time I did a photocopy, I had no clue where to press it. And, I was asking that boy in the shop, please मुझे बताना कौन सा button है. I felt myself that I was completely illiterate person because I did not have the skills. And he just did that like this. So I think everything around us is our curriculum. We should, just like that, we should get this inspiration from the Chinese school and the Japanese culture, that they are making their children clean their spaces, just like you mentioned. Here, if I tell my student, beta ye utha ke apna kachra bin mein pheng do, the parent will come next day to complain, mere bacche se wahan kachra uda lo, hamare ghar mein to wo uth ke pani bhi nahi peeta. So
बहुत
these
अच्छी
reasons of getting to, what do you say, not to, not a reason to feel proud of कि आप अपने बच्चे को नकारा और अपाहज, अल्लाह माफ करे, तौबा इस्तगफार, कि उसको अपाहज वाली फीलिंग दे दी कि मैं खुद कुछ नहीं उठा सकता, मैं खुद कुछ नहीं कर सकता. Then what's the point? So my next question with you, Anu, would be, what would be your suggestion to such parents? बिकॉज अगर स्कूल में तो हम ये चीजें ले आते हैं तो पेरेंट्स जो है वो हमारे लिए बहुत फ्रिक्शन पैदा कर देते हैं इस चीज के ऊपर, बिकॉज दे वांट अस पैम्पर द चाइल्ड और गोदी में उठा के उसको रखे. आप व्हाट डू यू सजेस्ट कि पेरेंट्स को हम कैसे इसके ऊपर लेके आ सकते हैं कि ये हमें करने दें स्कूल में इस किस्म की चीजें?
राइट. सो we all have been dealing with these kind of parents, and I also take a lot of parenting workshops in which I always tell them that it's not good to make your child a handicap.
Hmm.
You are not making your child ready for the future, you are not raising them.
Hmm.
Making a child dependent, it's not love,
Hmm.
it's
Yes,
injustice.
absolutely.
It's complete injustice. God never made us, to be dependent. Once
Hmm.
you start to walk a lot of things on your own.
Hmm. Yes.
One more example I would like to quote here from this Japan only. So I went to a daycare and I had to observe them for a few hours. When I went there, it was their nap time. And
Hmm.
all the children were in between the age of 1 to 2. 2 was the maximum limit. So there was a child who had just turned 1 as well. And all of them, when they woke up, they knew that they now, after their cleaning and all, they knew it is the meal time. They knew how to sit.
Hmm.
They were trying to eat. Maybe they were not able to eat, but at least they were trying to eat because
Hmm.
nobody was feeding to them.
Hmm.
Right? So, we have to let the bygones be the bygones. And if somebody comes to you, some parent comes to you and say, हमारे घर में तो कुछ भी नहीं करता है, हमारे घर में तो बहुत काम वालियां हैं, हमारे घर में तो मासी हैं, कर देती हैं. सो आप
Yes.
उनको बोलिए कि वो आपका घर है, आपको वो
Hmm.
ठीक लगता है और आप वो करते हैं. एज एन एजुकेटर मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सिर्फ बच्चे को पढ़ाना नहीं है, उसको
Hmm.
जिंदगी जीना सिखाना है.
Hmm.
आप बहुत बड़े हो
बिल्कुल.
चुके हैं, आप अडल्ट हो चुके हैं, हम आपको नहीं सिखा सकते. आप अपनी जिंदगी जैसे जीना चाहते हैं जिए,
हम्म.
बट इन जरूरी है वो हमें पता है
हम्म.
और
बिल्कुल.
हम उन्हें सिखाएंगे.
हम्म.
You have to deal very firmly with these people. This makes no sense.
Of
I mean, what are
course.
you trying to show that you have got 2 servants at home? No, there is no buyer for this. They have at your home. Please enjoy with them.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do with the children?
Hmm.
And what I feel at the time of the beginning of the session, as we call it, in orientation itself, the parents should get the clarity of how is the curriculum going to go forward. You will
Hmm.
not see. um They should not expect to get truckload of homework. They should not get too much of written work. They should know that we are focusing more on the concepts. They should
Mm.
know that children are here to learn about life,
Yes.
not learn a few things,
Mm.
vomit it on paper on the day of the test, and get some grades which do not matter to them. They are just a piece of paper lying in any of your drawers, which they are not going to see. But if they are not able to eat by themselves, if they are not able
Mm.
to use the washroom on their own, if they don't know that they are supposed to wish others, if they
Mm.
don't know how are they supposed to talk in a group setting, how to deal with the peer group, how to handle bullying, you know, how to treat adults, how to
Mm.
wish others, how to greet
Mm.
others, how to be a spiritual person. If they don't know all of this, then that piece of paper is a waste. I
Mm.
assure you, if you are writing A to Z in nursery and writing 3 letter, 4 letter words in kindergarten, and
Yes.
going to go to grade 1 and start writing sentences, even if you start writing A to Z in grade 1, end of the year you'll be writing the same sentences,
Mm.
because our cognitive skills are developing, our
Mm.
speed. So even if you are not writing one thing for the 10 times, just for the heck of writing it doesn't matter. But if you
Mm.
do not know that you have to wish others, you have to respect others, if you do not know about your culture, if you do not
Mm.
know your traditions, then
Mm.
education is a waste. I
So,
think parents should
putting
get
this
complete
point into a
clarity
perspective.
on independent. They get the complete clarity in the first interaction itself.
So, the parenting style, I have seen that these millennials have changed their parenting style from what the parenting we had. We had that carrot and stick parenting style, but these millennials have become like, "Choo, choo, 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 mera bachcha, choo, choo, mera pyara baby." They even treat their teenagers like that. So, what would be your message for the parenting context? All this discussion that we had, that obviously we teachers have our own part, our own flaws. We are working on it. We are looking for like-minded people. We are talking, we are raising issues, we are bringing things to the limelight, that these are the things, these are the problems we are facing in the classrooms. But in the end, when I speak to the teachers, they say that parents are not playing their role. They are either over pampering them, or maybe because of work they are helicopter parents. They just come and meet the children before bedtime, and then, okay, lala baby, show jao, and they put them on bed. So what would you suggest us teachers, that how to communicate this nicely, because you've been so much experience with this? I want teachers to take this note from your conversation, that this is how you deal with such parents, and some tips that that it can be helpful for the teachers.
So, as I told you, you cannot go to everyone's place and change them, but the people who come to you,
Hmm.
right, they might be touching with you in the PTMs, they might be asking you questions on and off. And if you sit and talk to them, right, they might be pampering their child from the day one, but as and when the child grows, even they feel the burnt. They know that what they have done is wrong. They know what they have been
Hmm.
doing is not correct or ethical. So it's a very easy conversation, right?
Hmm.
As we discussed some time back, that growing a handicap is not a good idea,
Hmm.
right? Our children should be future ready.
Hmm.
The outside world where they go is not as soft as the environment you are providing them, right? They have to survive in the outer world. They don't have to survive in the
Hmm.
nest.
Yeah.
So the children need to be resilient enough to
Brilliant.
respond
Hmm.
to the challenges of the outside world as well, which is very important. You
Hmm.
can't keep them cotton for all their life. And why do you have to?
Hmm.
Why do you have to tell me? If I talk about the culture of Southeast Asia, where we belong to, it always had been the culture of mutual respect.
Hmm.
Um, not naming any culture, maybe Western culture, it has influenced us a lot. But, on one side, what we do is we cushion our children so much. But
Mm,
on the other side, when they share their thoughts and views, we call it a disagreement.
mm,
So what we need to know is to learn all this first by ourselves, is that the way we were raised, we can't give the same upbringing in this time.
mm.
Living in 1975, we are not living in 1995. It is 21st century, it is 2025,
Yes.
right? So you need to know what is going to happen. Tomorrow you might be able to provide them barrage of servants, but
Mm,
tomorrow when they go to university or they go to college or they go anywhere, they they have to do everything on their own, which is completely justifiable.
yes.
You know,
Yes.
a younger cousin of mine, she moved to this country called Sweden, and she told me everybody has the landlords, they have problem housing Indians and Pakistanis. The reason
Mm,
being, they
mm,
don't clean by themselves.
mm.
They don't clean after
Yes.
themselves. They don't know how to clean. They don't know how to make dishes. They just spoil the whole kitchen. They don't clean their washroom mirrors even
Yes.
once they have used. So this is a basic life skill that everybody needs to learn to cook. Not
Mm,
just boys, girls, even the boys as well.
yes.
Everybody needs to learn to clean by themselves. And this is for sure if you are not doing it. I'm
Mm,
repeating it and reiterating it for all the parents to listen, that if you are not doing it yourself, your child is not going to.
yes.
Children never learn by telling them, they always follow. They always lead by example,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Perfect.
Right. That's it. I think what I have always felt is more than children, the parents need counseling.
Oh, yes. I actually wanted to bring this entire question to this point that to whomever I have spoken so far, everybody says that even if the school is trying its best or the teacher is trying to, bring a change in the children, most of the parents are not, although they do complain, कि बच्चे ऐसे हो गए हैं, बच्चे ये हो गए हैं, बच्चे वो हो गए हैं, but when you want to, give their children a little tough time so that, they can realize their mistakes. And I remember when we used to make mistakes, we were sent in our rooms, कि कमरे में चले जाओ, सोचो जाके क्या किया, the रो धोलो, सोचो, reflect on yourself and then see that where were you wrong and what mistake you have done. And then we used to realize and go ourselves and say, sorry, Ammi, sorry, ये हो गया, I should have not done it. We used to introspect ourselves with that way. आजकल के बच्चे तो गलत भी कर रहे हो, सही भी कर रहे हो, तो parents are least bothered and they just don't want anybody to even correct their children. I feel as an adult that I have this responsibility. अगर बच्चा जो भी बच्चा है वो बच्चा है, मेरा है या नहीं, that is not the concern. It's his behavior that I need to redirect it to some other direction. So if I am, owning the childhood of this child, कि भाई इसको मैं नजर आ रही हूँ सामने, तो I need to make him, make a statement कि बेटा ऐसे नहीं करो, do like this, don't do like this, or don't follow this. Whatever. If I even ask them to pick up your wrapper and throw in the bin, the parents they don't like it. So yeah, this is a problem. We need a lot of parent counseling, and poor parents, they're also busy in earning and working 24/7. They have also, I think, lost it. But yes, I totally agree with your tips, your points, and I hope that the teachers who are going to listen to this podcast, this little discussion of ours, this heart to heart conversation, I hope they'll be able to relate to whatever you have said and the challenges that you have faced and whatever you're trying to do. I wish you all the good luck. This is a battlefield that we are in. We need to we need to work hard on this. We, we are actually the soldiers. I feel that we need to equip our teachers more and more on that. So thank you very much. I know next time, inshallah, I think we should have another conversation, and then the next time we can
Sure.
talk about some other experience area of yours, and I hope that we'll learn something very new again from you. Thank you very much for being here, and it was a great help. In a few minutes, I'm going to upload this on YouTube and I'll share the link with you. You can share it in your circles. This is a very casual talk. I hope nobody have taken anything to their heart. If there is something, I apologize. We are only meant to talk here, whatever we feel that is happening, and it's the reality. And we want our future children to be independent, to be strong, emotionally safe and secure. And my message to everybody is that any adult around any child is the parent at that time. If you are telling the child not to throw a wrapper or walk straight or be nice to somebody, you are doing the action of parenting, and a parenting is a doing thing, not just giving birth to your child and becoming a parent. So thank you very much, Anu. Take care. Wish you all the best for everything, and inshallah, hopefully we'll connect again and we'll talk about something new. Have a good day, Anu. Thank you very much once again. Bye bye.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Have a nice
Likewise,
day.
likewise, likewise, likewise.
Thank you.